world. I know I certainly wasn't. I don't think any of us were. Well, Soar is an organisation working to make this a reality for teenagers of today.
We're joined now by Dublin footballer and Soar facilitator Kevin McManamon, as well as Soar Workshop participant Kate McGowan, to tell us how she benefited from the programme. It's lovely to have you both here this morning.
Lovely. Thanks for having us.
Kevin, that was a very quick introduction. Can you tell us exactly what Soar is and what it does?
Yeah, so I suppose Soar, we run character development workshops for teenagers, essentially. So, I know it's Mental Health Week, and let's say if you compare it to someone like Pieta House, who does crisis intervention, just kind of early intervention stuff that maybe people like Aware do, or educational stuff. SOAR comes a bit earlier in the kind of the food chain. It's a preventative model, so it's kind of to get in and build teenagers' characters before maybe life throws all these challenges at them. So it's not necessarily dealing with all the difficulties, but it's building a character so they can thrive. And
so before they get downtrodden, before little things start getting in at them, to give them skills to manage that so that they can be themselves.
100%, and I think that's a really good way of describing it. Yeah.
I mean, because everybody knows you, Kevin, as a Dublin footballer, but why is SOAR an organisation that you felt it was important to get involved with?
I guess, look, I'd been doing a bit of work with teenagers, and I thought a lot of it was speaking at teenagers and telling them this is what life's going to be like, this is how to do it, kind of thing. And I think I was really inspired by how SOAR did it. It was a peer-to-peer model. It was having conversations on the teenagers' level. I also loved the story. The story, Tony and Carl, who set up SOAR, basically knew teenagers in Ireland needed something. They were struggling, and they searched the world for the best model, and they found it in Australia in an organisation called Reach, who was set up by a fella from Dublin. We used to play with Dublin. Jim Steins is his name. You might have heard of Jim.
Oh, the book. His book.
And basically they researched what they were doing over there and brought it home. And I just think, for me, I loved that story. And then when I started seeing the work they were doing, it was honest, it was authentic, it was peer to peer, it was self-awareness work for teenagers. That I just thought some of the work that was being done was kind of underselling teenagers a little bit.
I think you said something really interesting there, Kevin, and Kate, would love to talk to you about this, because you've gone to these workshops. An awful lot of times, certainly when I was in school, it did feel like adults were talking at me. You know, you'd listen to the radio when they're talking about leaving cert, and it would be someone who was, my age, kind of going, well, now, what students at 18, they're under stress. And you're like, you don't know what the hell I'm going through. But also teenagers can be quite reluctant to join things if it's about their feelings. So what made you get involved with this?
Well, my first encounter with SOAR was when I was in TY, and they came into the workshop in my school. Yeah. And like Kevin was saying, they don't really have a syllabus. They don't have something to teach you. They're very much here to guide an honest conversation. And that really hooked me. I completely loved what they're doing. I loved the Soar Workshop, and I loved the space. I remember sitting there and being like, I don't want to be here. Completely, just exactly what you were saying. I was like, someone's going to come in and tell me how I feel. And I was just having a rough day. I was 16 as well. Yeah. And I was like, no, not having this. You can all, in the politest way possible, get lost. Yeah. And completely not the case. Completely taken aback by how genuine and how honest and how open the facilitators were, and how much they really respected what you had to say.
And what skills, did you learn from this that were really beneficial to you?
I think when you're talking about mental health, particularly prevention instead of crisis management, and even in crisis management, it's really important to keep talking, and the importance of honesty is something that I really got from SOAR. And what they do is they facilitate honest conversations. I think I've managed to carry that through the rest of my days, and kind of understanding how important that is and how that can be so useful, and it's kind of fundamental for us just every day.
It's quite interesting because, to get a Leaving Cert student to come on the telly to talk about their feelings and being open.
Speak so eloquently as well.
Oh, thank you.
It's not something that is very easy to do, to be like, OK, we're talking about mental health and I want to do this. Obviously, we're in a changed space now, Kevin, where younger people do know what mental health is way more than perhaps we did at our age. That it's like, OK, why am I feeling like this? This could be a bigger feeling. When it comes to the peer-to-peer model, that was obviously something that's incredibly, incredibly important. So for you to get to a level for a teenager, rather than just talking at them, Is that something that kind of comes naturally in these workshops, that you're like, OK, we're going to get this person to talk about their feelings? Because, like, how are you getting people to open up?
Yeah, well, the first thing I'd say is, like, we're really do a lot of deep training on our own, on ourselves as facilitators to, I suppose, be authentic and to, I suppose, have the skill to guide conversations. But it's to not be afraid of conversations, not to be afraid of emotion, and to treat people well when they are vulnerable or when they are opening up. Because I think, the thing about the school syllabus is our teachers are doing a fantastic job of, you know, educating our students academically, but there's kind of a gap there. They're not preparing them for life, and it's not just mental health. So it's like we'd speak about loss, we'd speak about the impact of social media, we'd speak about sexuality, speak about, like, everything's on the table, and I think, look, they're all wrapped up. We can call it mental health, emotional resilience, self-awareness. Maybe is the one that I like, because I think it's an empowering way to. It's an empowering skill set to give to teenagers.
Yeah, really interesting. Kevin, like, we didn't even get to talk about your 8 All-Ireland titles. The fact that you're now working as a psychologist with the Irish boxers, the Olympics as well, incredible stuff. It's obviously something very close to your heart. Yeah. But Kate, as well, you know, you're going to school now. What are you thinking if people are watching this morning and probably spat out their cornflakes when they see you?
I haven't really been talking about it.
I haven't told anyone, and no one under the age of 18 knows what a television is.
They might catch up on it on the player later on.
But is this something that you would like to keep, you know, going in your life, that you would like to help maybe younger people?
Oh, completely.
Because it is peer-to-peer. Like, it's you kind of going, OK, I can see a 14-year-old is in trouble here, and I want to intervene. I think,
like, one of the special things about Soar and why it's so unique is that the facilitators are, like, dead cool and inspire confidence in people and in the young people they're working with. And I'd love to train with Soar. Like, I've told a lot of people in Soar that I'd love to train with them.
I love this so much.
To get there. Yeah.
This is a job interview, and you've already told the interviewer you're dead cool.
Over the hill for this. This is peer to peer. So this is, but like, and I think, look, teenagers in a couple of years would be blessed to have someone like Kate with her experience and her authenticity and going into schools, and that's what people relate to, you know.
Exactly, not speaking at them and actually just listen. Kate, thank you so much. Kevin, cheers for joining us again this morning. It's brilliant to have you on.
Thanks so much,
and of course, all this week we are trying to raise awareness around mental health, so we please do ask you to include the hashtag #JustAsk in any of your social media posts.
And if you've been affected by anything that we're chatting about this morning, support is there. You can contact any of the helplines by following the link on the screen. It's virginmediatelevision.ie/helpline.